It is hump day. I know I wish I could have the camel on, doggone it, YouTube. Hump day for everyone. Welcome, everyone. Steve Cunningham's Sensitive Fidelity. 4:44 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3rd of September 2025. And in the old right, it's the feast of Pope Pius X. So, Ora pro nobis. And let's get right to it. Ben-Gvir, you know that kind, gentle dear Ben-Gvir that you seen a couple weeks ago that we talked about, especially on News from the Pew. I brought him up a lot. Pushes for terrorist level. This guy's a lunatic, by the way. That's why I'm kind of mocking. Pushes for terrorist level detention of Gaza-bound flotilla activists. Now, if you understand what that means, is there's a group of people that get on these flotillas from Italy and other nations and nation states in Europe, and will go down in this flotilla to Gaza to drop off supplies, food, whatever. Some have been blowing up the Kingdom Come. You can hear it. There's the plenty of stories of vets that have done this, and they talk about Israel bombing them, and pretty much they've gotten arrested, and the U.S. federal government has done absolutely nothing to help them. So Ben-Gvir is out there pushing for even worse stuff. The National Security Minister Ben-Gvir is pushing to lock humanitarian activists, including Greta Thunberg, in harsh terrorist-level prisons for sailing on weapons-free boats to deliver humanitarian aid. So they're not even. He's a guy that's on a flotilla to him. He talks about he's prepared to get in trouble, get shot or whatever just to go help these people out. He's a former vet. Israel is hitting Lebanon, southern Lebanon hard tonight, and tonight is in a couple hours ago, I guess. Multiple attacks on Hezbollah, now a wave of fresh airstrikes as night falls. One day after IDF drones dropped grenades on UN peacekeepers. Hezbollah fighters obliterated by IDF. Israeli military says it's hit 2 terrorists in southern Lebanon today. Obviously, you can just make up the name terrorist for anybody. I'm sure we could be called. Wait, even Greta? Yes, even Greta, because Greta is all about helping Gazans. Just because she's an idiot on some things doesn't mean someone's totally. Bellarmine that mentions not everyone's 100% evil in politics or governing or 100% great. So, I mean, even Greta has some good moments. A broken clock is right twice a day. Remember that. So Greta could be a complete lunatic on one and get another one right. Yeah. And vice versa. We could have some people that we really like that are smart as a whip on 98% of things and dumber than a box of rocks on 2%. So, yeah, even Greta. Watch arrest Greta and throw her in prison. Let's get to antiwar.com, just the update on the war pigs. U.S. military bombs boat off coast of Venezuela. We talked about that a little bit. Yeah, I would say illegally executed a boat of people in Venezuela that they have no idea if they were drug cartel or what. Do you want your government to be able to just bomb it? You had looking at all the cheerleaders doing it. You got all the regular cheerleaders to pay for, but then you got the ones that apparently love Christ. Saying it's totally cool to bomb somebody without due process, kill them. And I mean, just think about it. We saw the thing yesterday. They destroyed a boat. They have no idea who was on that boat. They could tell us who we're supposed to believe. But again, how many times you believe the government? You should believe when their mouths moving, it's still a joke, they're lying. And then they're international waters. So which laws do you obey? Because we didn't like what they had on there. Let's play the game. If they have drug cartel. Okay, what was on it? Is where they come from legal and where they were, and then the water is legal, illegal? What is it? What were them? Is the entire world based off DC's rules now? And they're bragging. They're going to blow more boats up. IDF and starvation kill 119 Palestinians in Gaza, but most people over here don't care. Now, if we would have shot 119, no, they couldn't be Palestinians because killing Palestinians is totally okay. Who could we have shot to get anybody upset? I mean, I guess, obviously, a place for learning might have gotten some uproar, I guess, but starvation is not sexy, so that's not a big deal. It's Gazans, so they don't care. Israel's doing it, so they really don't care. It's almost like a virtue if Israel just kills anybody for any day. The clock ticks. Yeah. Trump suggests back in Euro troops in Ukraine. Conservative split over Israel visible at DC meet. Amnesty. Syrian troops executed Druze in Suwada. Trump to order intervention in Chicago and Gotham. I mean, Baltimore. I jokingly call Baltimore Gotham without Batman. We'll get more of that in just a minute, like now. Here's Nick Cheerleader Sorter. Just in, hundreds upon hundreds of military vehicles have been spotted on a train in the middle of Washington, D.C. This is the same track used when Trump brought tanks in for the military parade. Which city are these headed to? Chicago? Now, remember back in the day, people would send you videos of tanks on trains, and everybody like, holy cow, what is this? This is, just upset about what could this be? Oh, now we're cheering that on. And we're going to invade Chicago. DC's going to invade Chicago or whatever. People going, obviously, like I said again, a violation of Posse Comitatus. Straightforward. They use DC. Here's my theory. They use DC as kind of like the experiment, just to let everyone know, hey, this is going good. Because Trump came out and said DC's a crime-free zone, which is totally lunacy. There's still crime there. You can, just because like you can walk down the street and not get shot. Well, that happened beforehand too. There's bad split areas in DC, just like there's bad areas in Charlotte, just like there's bad areas in Birmingham. There's like bad areas everywhere. You know where the bad areas and good areas are. You just don't go there in the middle of the night or sometimes during the day, whatever it is. But it's the whole hyper-extent. It's the line. He's exaggerating it a little. We've got zero crime. You got a little bit. We have the worst crime. No, it's not even the worst. They'll go to Chicago where it's the worst. It's not the worst. Chicago's not even by far the worst. There's a link. I should bring it up. Chicago's not even. It's definitely not the top city in the world, and definitely not in the United States. Now, New Orleans is getting bad. They're talking about doing. I got a link on that here soon about going down to New Orleans. Now that is getting bad. I got people down there that have said that it gotten better after Katrina, but then people start coming back in after Katrina, and now it's just terrible. You do not. As one lady said, you do not go down there, and you're going to get your purse taken. You go anywhere in French Quarter or anything like that, you're probably going to get robbed. But DC doesn't care. They're going to go down and play Team America World Police down there. Here's Spain's MEP, Iran Montero. Israel just assassinated Yemen's prime minister and nothing happens. Israel's the only entity that can commit genocide, bomb 5 countries, kill a prime minister, and still claim to be the victim. Here's right. I thought I had the thing. I could have sworn I had what she was talking about. Maybe I don't. Anyway, yeah, they assassinated a Yemen prime minister and got away with it pretty much. But I mean, they told everybody it's Israel. So whatever. You'll have people defending it. Some Israeli reservists say they'd rather go to jail than serve in the assault on Gaza City. Good on those guys. Here's one of the typical Trump administrations, Fox News Trump administration. Hero says this is nonsense about National Guard on the street. Next thing they're going to say is police shouldn't be on the street, which is utterly retarded. There's no one saying that. They're saying you shouldn't have the National Guard running because it's a violation of Posse Comitatus. Not that people don't want crime. No one says, hey, I want crime. You got to stop. No one's saying get rid of the police. She's using the idea, they go the dumb words of defund the police. Again, two-party politics, all this. Here's Aaron. This has a great line. Our founding fathers made darn sure to separate the military from the civilian. We should remember why they did this and not rush to toss their wisdom aside. Yep. But because it's MAGA, we want violation of Posse Comitatus, we want the military police. Again, if Obama or Brandon was doing this, that woman definitely would be losing her mind. Just Judge Janine, is that it? She would be losing it on Brandon or Obama. But because she's on Team Trump, totally cool. It's okay when we do it. Here's the prime minister. That's what I was looking for. Abiy Martin, Israel can murder the prime minister of Yemen with zero consequences. If Yemen killed Netanyahu, nukes would already be flying. She's right. Seamus wrote, it has now been confirmed Yemen Prime Minister Ahmad al-Rahawi was assassinated in an IDF airstrike on Sana's 2 days ago. He was killed alongside a number of state ministers during what Yemen's presidential office says was a routine government workshop. Think about that. If they would have bombed Netanyahu, they would have so many nukes would have been on Yemen. Yemen would have been blown off the face of the earth. Just like same thing. They did it in D.C. Same thing. Here's a newswire. U.S. post-war Gaza plan calls for temporary relocation of residents to clear way for luxury tourism destination, according to the Washington Post. Talked about this yesterday. And as Misty brings out, they are genociding an entire people for luxury tourism. You do not hate them enough. No, most people will buy their hats or shoes or lunchbox. Trump the lunchbox, Trump the doll. It's kind of like Spaceballs, the merchandise. It's because he was put in. That's what I told everyone before, a year before the election happened. He's going in, and here's why. Because that literally people did not believe it. Like, oh, I can't believe what if she wins? She's not going to win. I was telling about it. You can look it up. There's video of me saying that she had no chance of winning. Why? Because if she did stuff like this, people that are up for doing like this, like, yeah, hashtag we voted for this, all that junk, they would be all over cackles. But no, because their guy did it, it's totally cool. It's really sad. It's sickening to see it. Here's Salari report talking about here's Mohammed Safa. This is not Hiroshima. This is Gaza. Gaza is nearly 3 times smaller than Hiroshima, and Israel has dropped the equivalent of nearly 10 atomic bombs on Gaza. Salari report. Writes, ever wonder what DJT would say if we bomb Mar-a-Lago using taxpayer money? Proposed to move the Trump family and friends out since it was such a mess, rebuilt a lovely waterfront development that we owned, and promised we would give each of the Trump family members a new apartment in our beautiful resort, so they should not complain because that was a good deal. Man, it's okay when we do it. Here's the Free Thought Project. Trump administration prepares for war with Venezuela while peddling propaganda. The U.S. empire is quoted by Robert E. Lee, is going to be aggressive abroad and despotic at home. Pretty sure Lee nailed that one. The U.S. empire has sought regime change in Venezuela to control its natural resources for years. Trump 2.0 is aiming to do just that. Again, if you look at everything underneath in the show notes already, click it, check it out, send it around to anybody that doesn't believe you. Here's Trump's, this is from the AP. Trump suggests National Guard could go into New Orleans, a blue city in a red state. Again, New Orleans has a terrible crime rate. It sucks. It's not that great. It's because of people that they just gentrification of the place in a sense. It's not that good. And, we do such a great job of evangelization that, it's amazing everywhere. Anyway, sarcasm, yes. Again, violation of Posse Comitatus. Straight across. All you have to do, read that, violation of Posse Comitatus. Trump suggests National Guard go into Cincinnati, violation of Posse Comitatus. Trump suggests National Guard going anywhere, Posse Comitatus. Now, I guarantee the loophole is the Louisiana governor is probably asking to do is saying that he's going to control the National Guard. So there's that little loophole that are going to try to get around. So they're saying, no, the Louisiana governor is going to be in control of the whole thing. Yeah, they're lying to you. Here's Trump saying, we're going into Chicago. And Just the Thought says, if everyone would stop focusing on distractions like Trump is dying and started focusing on the militarization of our country paired with Israeli-backed surveillance systems and technocratic influence within the administration, maybe we'd have a chance. There's not truer words right there. You look at the Catholic talking heads out there right now. How many bring this up? Zero. None of them bring it up. We will talk about whatever triggers somebody. The Pope sneezed the wrong way. We will talk about that for the next week. I'm not a fan of Father Martin. The Pope met with Father Martin. Oh man, we're going to talk about that for the next month. Great googly moogly. Meanwhile, we're going to have Israeli-backed surveillance systems coming in to our front yards tomorrow, starting this week with Gideon. I got another one that's coming up. I got a link up here. We got all this stuff coming on in our backyard that we can't control, but we refuse. We're going to look at something because of clicks. Like, what is complaining about Martin's going to do? Nothing. Ain't going to do a doggone thing. But we're going to focus on that just because people are going to watch, click, and we're bad enough because we will watch that. Now, obviously, I've told you this millions of times. I don't watch any commentators because that's why it's a waste of my time to listen to some. Well, I'm going to listen for an hour and a half about something I can't control or something that absolutely does nothing for me personally. But something like that, you got your president who's acting like a renegade dictator to come in to violate Posse Comitatus and put a military police in your cities. And nobody cares. We're just going to focus on the clickbait stuff. Again. Someone asked Dave about someone brought up the thing about a couple weeks ago. I guess Rome had the social media influencers come out and guy goes, I think it was Joe McClain said, put a tweet out, said, what if he destroys Catholic media? It's already been destroyed, dude. Have you watched any of it? It's terrible. They don't just talk about whatever they want to. It's all about themselves, and it's all about whatever gets the most clicks. Stuff like that never gets talked about. Anyway, Richard, hey man, thanks for coming on, dude. Here's Ron Paul. President Trump claimed yesterday that a boat with 11 passengers that he ordered blown up in international waters near Venezuela was a drug smuggling boat. No evidence was given. Again, what drives the U.S. war on Venezuela? I can tell you one thing. Cha-ching, baby. Money, money, money. Oil and money. I think there's a link coming up here in a second on that. He just executed people on TV and then showed it to everyone, or even videoed it and showed it. It was like, what are you going to do about it? I'm going to kill anybody I want. I think I got a link on that one too coming up where they actually said that. Speaking of nobody's talking about this, I'm going to keep bringing this up until somebody starts talking about this. Here's Aaron Cohen's YouTube channel. I'll do a different link because I've been posting the Twitter link that has the video of him in the interview with Fox. Here's the 10-minute segment of him on Fox on his YouTube channel, where all he talks about is Gideon and the pre-crime movement that he's got going. Mr. Aaron Cohen, who has to have that mean look every time he's on. Hey Aaron, how you doing? I hate everyone. Hey Aaron, how's the weather? It's terrible outside. The guy has to have this just look like, I'm going to tear your face off. But then the guy on the left, that's the Aaron guy who's developed preventable crime, whatever, AI, and nobody cares about it. I heard Ryan Christian brought it up on Last American Vagabond, saying that he was utterly surprised that nobody in the liberty movement is really talking about this. And I'm saying, wait, nobody. I have talked this to people all week for the last week, and I'm the only one still to bring it up. It's amazing. Anyway, yeah, check it out. If you don't believe me, check it out. Links below. And he's got a ton of links on this, and it says on the screen, Gideon, the system that stops the next attack before it starts. Support this mission. Gideon, AI-powered threat protection. Same topic, different type. New AI threat detection technology. This is Fox 13 Seattle 2 weeks ago. What it is something called Oh, what is it? This guy, it's here it is. Let me screens X-ray. It can do like 25,000 people at one time, and it's the same thing. Prompted with mass shootings. There it is. Scannery tech, and apparently it can see what you're carrying and see what you're doing, see what's on you, see all that stuff. And they say it's oh, by the way, look, and Israeli startup. By the way, this is great. As you can see in the next thing, the and Israeli startup led by engineers behind the Iron Dome just launched scanner. So the people behind the Iron Dome and his new security system using AI and radar to screen up 25,000 people an hour in crowded spaces. Again, we don't see the craziness that is coming down, but we're going to focus on stuff that the Pope met with somebody. Great. Did he get Chinese? I don't know. Do not care. I care about stuff like this. Where I could be. Was it the one priest off EWTN? You can become holy without worrying about what the Pope does 24 hours. Follow Mishpachwa. But again, nobody cares about this. Another Israeli tech that's already here. This is already here. This is in Seattle. Engineers that built Israeli Iron Dome protection system are unveiling a new AI-powered threat detection service for large crowds. You know what that means? It means also that there's a market for this, and people are going to come up with more and more and more and more until the time that you're not going to be able to walk outside without a drone being outside your wall. Tell me I'm crazy. 5 years ago, they shut the world down and no one blinked an eye. They actually went with it. You don't think they're going to go with this? Here's Minnesota Governor Tim Walz calls for mass gun confiscation, like Australia. 600,000 firearms seized in Australia. All right, now here's where the incorporation people. By the way, incorporation is a progressive mindset. That's the 14th Amendment. Does everything for here in the ice world. It's not. Don't live in the 14th Amendment Constitution. Live in the real Constitution. One that has been crapped on, pulled apart, beaten up, filleted, all that stuff. It's still there, but yeah. So according to the 14th Amendment, guys, the Bill of Rights goes from here to Mars and back. Okay, that's where it is. Now, in reality, in original intent, the Bill of Rights is what the states cannot do to the state, what the federal government cannot do to the states. Translation: the states can do whatever they want. That's why states have constitutions. Speaking of which, here is the Minnesota State Constitution. It took me all but 30 seconds, less than that, to find the Minnesota State Constitution. Actually read it. I wonder how many people in Minnesota read it. Probably none. Most people that vote in Minnesota probably have no clue they even exist. Now, the downside to all that is there is no right to carry in the state of Minnesota in their constitution. That's on you people in Minnesota. So if he confiscates your guns, that's on you guys. He has the authority. Might not be a great idea. Might not like it. He has the authority to do that. Now, a true conservative is going to say that, hey, federalism, that's it. Now, if you want to be a progressive, then you're going to have to say DC is going to stop it. Hopefully, maybe they will. Maybe there'll be a lawsuit. Great. I would hope that, and let the Constitution get into maybe Thomas will talk about that too, because he's going after the 14th himself. That would be great. Make sure that, hey, each state is its own country, which it is. Good idea for people in Minnesota. If that doesn't happen, either get into politics in Minnesota and amend the Constitution and get it in there, or get out of Minnesota. Hence what Florida was doing yesterday about voting for ending property tax, and they're doing something else. I got a video on that in a minute. When world wars were set before Noah, the Tower of Babylon was simple because a way to live as humans. Because I wanted to be like God. Yeah, new tech. Yeah, be like God. Yeah, this is like a Harari talking about there is no God. We're going to have an AI Bible. We're going to have an AI God, an AI religion. Everything's going to be tech is the way to go. You got even Catholics using AI just to do apologetics. Instead of using your brain, we got to use the AI on that. And AI is not perfect. Speaking of turn back time, COVID wave washes over California. Some officials urge residents to muzzle up again. That's all I got with I dropped some stuff at Goodwill. The guy comes out with a muzzle, and I almost asked him, "Dude, why you got that on?" A certain bishop put a tweet out saying that he apologized for not acting up on the what happened during those times. I actually wrote an email to that bishop asking him, please, here's what's going on. We need a leader to stand up and call out this nonsense. He wrote me back saying, I'm not that leader. So, even the good ones, unfortunately, at that time, really, really poor on standing up for things. NATO scrambles warplanes as Putin launches biggest attack of the war. Vladimir Putin has launched one of the most devastating assaults on Ukraine since the conflict began, with NATO forced to scramble warplanes. You thought we had peace coming, right? Russia, oh, by the way, the Venezuela war, remember, the guy that's in D.C. is the Nobel Peace Prize candidate. Or what? Peace, 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 peace. Yeah, they're ready to bomb Venezuela for oil. Isn't that the same story for every other place? Russia launches over 500 drones in deadly attack targeting Ukraine's energy grid. The attacks targeted mainly western and central Ukraine, the Ukrainian Air Force said. Here's DeSantis and Ladapo aim to make Florida first in U.S. to end all vaccine mandates. And I told a buddy of mine, Mike Church, I sent him a text because he put us out too, and I saw this. I go, here's what's going on. Florida's housing market is going down. People are leaving because of insurance, hurricanes, things like that. Mostly because all these guys from up north or anywhere else. Hey, we're going to live on the coast. That's because insurance goes up and you get a hurricane. Bye bye. That's why you don't live on the beach. You go inland. Anyway, so the housing market's going down the thing. So now they're going tax, getting rid of the income tax, getting rid of vaccine mandates, looking to get rid of property taxes. What's that going to do? Hey, people in Minnesota, come on down. Arms wide open. As the song by Creed says, with arms wide open. That's federalism. If you have one state doing something dumb, another state, you know what? Let's bring people with. Let's do something to bring them in. People will leave one state and go to another. Trust me. Again, I am looking at Florida like an eagle. Like, what else can they do if a housing company? Because all the stuff that I was born in Florida, and I would love to go back. Grapefruits, love me some grapefruits. I could grow a grapefruit tree out there, not in a pop-up greenhouse. Well, it might need a pop-up greenhouse just to keep the stuff off the. Oh, they're trying to ban the sky stuff, the chemtrails and all that too. Guys, they are, as he says, they're baiting people with news. As Richard said, baiting people with news. They're baiting people to come down to Florida with some good stuff too. Again, it works both ways. Bill Gates, this is a week or two. It was a couple of days ago, last week. Bill Gates met with Trump at White House this week. No press, no visitor log, 0 photos. When have you seen a White House meeting this hidden? What went down behind those closed walls? Bill Gates, not the first time Gates has been to the White House this year too. Once a future Canadian President DJT asked for $15 in donations to get to heaven. Yes, you wrote that right. It's on Newsweek. This isn't the Babylon Bee. Trump has sent a campaign fundraising email with the subject line, I want to try to get to heaven. The email framed as political survival and legal battles as evidence of divine purpose, and asked supporters contribute $15 during a 24-hour Trump fundraising blitz. Here's Sal the agorist asking why there was so many unanswered questions about that Israeli pedophile Trump helped escape. How many American children did he rape? Was he part of the Epstein ring? Was Trump pressured by Mossad? Why does no one in Congress care? Where are the courts? This whole thing makes no sense. Why isn't the news covering this story? Was Jared Kushner involved? If he was mistakenly released, why hasn't the U.S. requested extradition? If he was intentionally released, what's the official explanation? Why did DOJ initially deny that it happened? Concept C is the all-electric sports car kickstarting Audi's digital design future. Man, I butchered that one. The Concept C is the all-electric, it's electric, boogie woogie woo, Sports car kickstarting Audi's design future. The TT inspired Roadster debuts Audi's new strategy for radical simplicity, and it looks terrific. And you could probably put 1 gallon of milk in your trunk. New York City shootings. New York City. Yes, New York City shootings. Subway crime at record lows. Shoplifting down as crime takes a hit. Batman must have went from Gotham over to New York City, I guess. Jeffrey Epstein survivors say they're compiling their own client list of powerful associates. Chelsea Clinton eyes stunning political move, setting up dynastic showdown with troubled JFK heir Jack Schlossberg. Did I say that right? No idea. Clinton is seriously considering a campaign to replace retiring Jerry Nadler in New York's 12th congressional district, according to reports. Again, these guys keep going in and getting involved and running. How come no one in our circle wants to run for the 12th? Is it just because we would like to hit the button and emote on the videos and things like that? Never wants to do anything to get anything done, any solutions? The bad guys always keep running. Why can't we? Gringos leave. Protests targeting travelers rise, and over tourism anger grows. This is protest increase the tourist arrivals to popular destinations surpass pre-pandemic levels as over tourism persists. Residents' reactions often move from tolerance to complaints to confrontations. Protests don't repel travelers in long term, but they can pressure governments to act. This where was this at? It was in Mexico. I can't remember where. There was Trump on the Epstein files again. This is a Democrat hoax that never ends. Here's Epstein survivors announced they will compile their own list of abusers who frequented his island and playing, quote, "We know the names. Many of us were abused by them. We will compile their names. We all know we're regularly in Epstein world." My thoughts, I don't think any of this is ever going to come out. Hopefully it will. I doubt it. Until they're all, I mean, they'll eventually get their own judgment day. Obviously, all these people will come out and on the general judgment. We'll see it all. And this great tapestry will come out in front, but I don't think anybody this is ever going to come out. Because I mean, you're asking the criminals to tell on themselves. It ain't happening. The Pentagon promises more strikes against cartels after deadly boat raid. What you need to know. So the Pentagon has actually said, we're going to kill more people. We're going to execute more people on the seas, no matter what. Again, as Rob Paul brought up, they had no evidence. They still haven't shown any evidence. They just killed people just because. And again, like Catherine, what's her face? The Catholic lady, press secretary. She's like, hey, we voted. This is great. Yeah. Then she got rid of the cross long ago. Lab-grown meat banned in Texas as of September 1st. Some believe the ban on lab-grown meat violates people's constitutional rights. In a sense, yeah, because, I mean, it mainly a free market thing. If someone wants to make free, lab-grown meats, let them. Fine, do it. I'm not a fan of banning someone doing something like that. Now, if it comes out that it's in the bad, they'll find out. The truth come out, and their business will collapse. Mostly this stuff like this, when you see Florida did this too, it's mostly because of lobbyists like the meat lobby in a sense, going in, paying a lot of money to squash other people. We don't want that to happen on either side. Now even dogs are being told to go vegan. Plant-based foods provide similar nutrients to meat-based diets for pooches, that's claimed. Yeah. The power of God. Putin, Z, and Kim in most blood-curdling hot mic moment ever as despots discuss replacing organs to achieve immortality. I think Putin joked, it was in a video that he said that Kim Jong-un would, or Kim would live to be 150 or something like that. RT had a video of it. America's most luxurious grocery store to open in New York City. New York City. Yes, open in New York City with a 5-figure entry fee. Erewhon, the LA-based exclusive grocery chain, is coming to New York City. New York City, yes, New York City. Hopefully, maybe they have Pace Picante sauce with an eye-watering entry fee, but there's a catch. Ronnie Fag, the founder and CEO of a streetwear clothing brand, Keith, announced that the luxury market was getting the spot in his members-only paddle club in West Village, as reported by independent reporter Emily Sundberg. Sundberg reviewed the pitch deck in the exclusive club, revealing that those who want to step foot inside will have to fork over $36,000 initiation fee plus $7,000 in annual dues. The club will also have a living room, a gym, bouquet, locker rooms, and relaxation room. It's a grocery store. Wow. You got to be out of your mind, I guess. Anyway, everything's beneath in the show notes again. Check it out. Go underneath. Please send the YouTube thing about the shooting, the Aaron Cohen thing about the AI coming out. And again, the other AI that's already out, the creators of the Iron Dome coming. It's all coming to a city near you guys. See if anybody else cares besides me. I'm just curious. Am I the only one that cares about this? Am I kooky or that? And somebody else telling me, Steve, stop worrying about the AI. Let Skynet come in. We just don't care. Hey, let's just talk about, I don't know, what the other guys talk about all the time. You guys might watch it all. I don't know. Anyway, God love you. Have a great rest of the day. Man, thankfully, we got this in 5 hours before yesterday. I did. Here's the like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz. Click the stuff. Sensifidelity.tv for the app. Appreciate all you guys coming in. Thank you, and see you tomorrow.